Okay, so this question here wants me to figure out which of these fractions are equivalent to 8 over 20. Okay, so the easiest way to start with this, right, is that if I start with 8 over 20 and I simplify that. Okay, so I know that 4 will go into that 2 times, and I know that 4 will go into that 5 times. So it's 2/5. Okay, so the equivalent fraction that I want to see if these are equivalent to is 2/5. Okay, so all I need to do is I need to just start with these fractions, and I can go, well, 4 over 10, well, 2 goes into that 2 times, 2 goes into that 5 times, so that's 2/5. So that is an equivalent one. Okay, so I can highlight that. Okay, so that's okay. 1/5, well, we can see instantly that 1/5 is not. Okay, so 1/5 is not. Let's look at 6/20. 6/20 is equal to, well, 2 goes into that 3 10 times. So that's 3/10, and so that's not. Okay, let's look at 8/10. Okay, well, we can easily see that if 4/10 is, that 8/10 will not be. Okay, but again, if you want to, you can think 8 out of 10. 2 goes into that 4 and into that 5, that's 4/5. So it's not the same. Okay, remember, we're wanting them to be the same as 2/5 is our equivalent when we simplify them. Okay, so 8/10 is not. 16 out of 40. Okay, so 4 goes into that 4 and goes into that 10, so that's 4/10. I can still simplify that further. 2 goes into that 2 and goes into that 5, so that's 2/5. Yep, so that's okay. So that is one. Okay, I know that 2/5 is because that's just simplified as 2/5. Okay, let's have a quick look at 4 over 12. Okay, so 2 goes into that twice and into that 6, so it's 2 on 6, so that's not right. Okay, so all I do is I systematically go across and I delete or I check to see what's going on here. So 12 out of 40, let's have a look here, 12 out of 40. So 12 out of 40, I know that 4 goes into that 3 times and into that 10, so that's 3/10. So in terms of that, that's not. Okay, I can look at 80 over 200. Okay, so I know that 10 goes into those and leaves 8 over 20. Okay, I know that if I have 8 over 20, I know that 4 goes into that twice and 4 goes into that 5 times, so it's 2/5. So that is equivalent to 2/5. Right, so that is one of the things that I'm looking at, right? So also I know that 1/4 is not. Okay, just by looking at it. Okay, so remember what we've done here is we wanted to write that as 2/5 in simplified form first. Okay, and then simplify everything else and see if they match. Okay,